Welcome to the Conscious Investor. Let's get started. Nothing can dim the light that shines within. Maya Angelou said that. That's one of her quotes. And now more than ever, I think that this quote should cause us to pause and reflect a little bit more. I'm going to just throw this out there that this time of year, with all the Christmas cards that get exchanged, it can really reveal a deeper hurt within us or a deficiency. And today I want to talk about that. I wasn't really intending to talk about, holiday cards and Christmas cards and all of that, but it really fits in because here's the thing. During our teenage years, those are rough times, the pressure to fit in, to compare yourself to others, to conform. It completely pales in comparison to the pressure we face today to be an influencer of some sort across all these social media platforms. I mean, who would have ever considered that way back, 25 years ago, that we would be jockeying for attention over on these social media platforms? And I get it. Not everybody is on these social media platforms. And there are a lot of responses to these social media platforms, like we have the response of like, me, I just don't even care about it. It's not really my thing. And then some people actually respond more hostily, like a little tinge of anger, like, this is stupid. And, just kind of a negative attitude, like, this is so superficial, and it just gets knocked around. Like there's no significance behind the social media. And then it's more antagonistic, like, well, these are just people posing, right? I actually hear people say, if somebody's life is a 10 on a social media platform, then their life is really a 1 in reality. But is that really a real statement, or is that some type of protective mechanism that we're posturing with? Some of you are out there and you're embracing the opportunity to be on these social platforms to influence others. You see it as this opportunity. I know that's how I see it. I see this as an opportunity to be able to impact lives and say, hey, wow, maybe we can think about these things in a new way. But today, no matter what your response is, no matter if you love social platforms or not, or if you like holiday cards or not, I am going to offer you this huge dose of freedom. Yeah. You stick around to the end. I'm going to give you the ultimate golden ticket that is going to offer a lot of freedom for you. And that means freedom on the social platforms, freedom when you go to family gatherings, freedom when, you see your friends posting these successes that maybe you really want for yourself as well. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Success is great, and we can want the same successes as others. We can want that without being jealous. That was your special bonus for today, by the way. Here's the thing. Here's where the freedom comes. And I'm going to tell a little story, and I think it's going to help this make sense. I don't know about you, because I grew up and I loved that musical, The Sound of Music. Drove my brothers crazy. They wanted to watch Star Wars. And, a couple times a year, I'd get to watch the entire 12 hours. No, I think it's 3 hours of The Sound of Music with Julie Andrews. And I thought, wouldn't it be magnificent to be able to sing and perform? By the way, never be around me singing, because I cannot sing it would not work out well. But I thought, wow, it'd be so great to be on one of these Broadway, stages, and they have the lights on you, and, you can, obviously not in the movie, but, if you go to performances, they have the spotlight and they're following the cast members around on the stage. Just picture that for a moment. I'm sure you've been at some point to some performance where there's a stage and there's a spotlight that is shining down on that one person or maybe a couple of people, but you know that you're really zeroing in on like, oh, it's drawing my attention into this. And here's the thing, that spotlight, it's not even controlled by the person on the stage. Are you enjoying this episode? Do the world a favor and help trip the algorithm by leaving a review so that this content reaches many others. And now back to the show. So today, as I was working with a coaching client, which I absolutely love to do, I realized that this spotlight approach that we all seem to be applying in so many parts of our life today, this spotlight approach will always lead to defeat. And yet we're still kind of chasing after it. But think about it. As I mentioned a moment ago, does the performer have any control over the spotlight? Not at all. In fact, okay, there is the technician who is, moving the spotlight around. I guess now they're not actually physically moving them. They're like probably using a computer to do that. I'm not sure on the behind the scenes of that, but right, there is a technician, somebody that's controlling that light. But even that person doesn't have, they technically, I suppose, do have complete control because they're controlling it. But they are looking to the director. And the director is the one that has said, this is where I want the light to be. This is what I want to emphasize and shine the light on. And here's the thing. So often, now I'm just going to catch us all a little bit. I think we can all admit this, right? You're probably in your car, jogging, doing something. You're probably in your head, in your earbuds. And if you're in the car with kids, this is a great talking point. But how many of us are saying, hey, shine on me. Like, oh, I'm over here. Give me the light. Or do you see me? See me? I'm over here. Come on. And as a culture, we have glorified this 5 minutes of fame. We even have a name for it, right? 5 minutes of fame. And as much as we are jockeying for the spotlight to be on us, we also relish the moment to have the spotlight and to have control over the spotlight, right? And so now we're this culture where we are literally willingly shining the bright light on celebrities. And we do this as much to celebrities as we do to people who make us laugh or cringe. Like, we actually have people beneath the spotlight that we hold. Ultimately, this just reveals this humongous gap in our own lives. So many of us are aiming for this acknowledgement, for appreciation. Some want a level of adoration, but ultimately, unanimously, everyone is craving acceptance. And the problem is, most people don't accept themselves. Think about it. Do you really accept yourself? If I were to hand you a transcript of your thoughts towards yourself, would they reveal like self-approval or self-criticism? We're straight up hardwired, created to live in community. And part of that means desiring approval from those we care about. And the reality is, in today's world, the community is now global. And we're trying to have the approval of so many that we're turning into broken beings. So what do? What can we do to combat this? We actually start with self. Now, I spent a lifetime mischaracterizing selfishness. So this concept is still fairly new to me. And I realize that it's critical that before we begin performing for others, we have to start with who we are. We can't expect to get on a stage and have a spotlight on us that's worth anything if we don't even know who we are. Let me ask you this. When's the last time you stopped to cheer yourself on? Or when's the last time you stopped to celebrate an accomplishment you've been striving for? And not just like, yeah, good job, and then move on to the next thing, but like actually celebrate it. A weirder question. It's going to seem strange to a lot of people listening, I think, and maybe it's just me. That's okay. But when's the last time you got to know yourself? For some reason, we believe that just because we embody this body and it's our mind and our thoughts and our heart and soul, we think that we actually know ourselves. And in reality, we are constantly changing, growing, and evolving. And this opportunity for self-discovery is actually one of those gifts of a lifetime. We get to open it up every single day. And just as we can grow apart from a spouse or someone that we care about, a close friend, we can grow apart from ourselves. Kind of a strange thought. I don't know many people who really stop and think, do I know myself? So when's the last time you took time to just spend getting to know yourself? Do you like you? Like, do you like yourself? Like, if you don't like yourself, why would others like you? What shifts could you make that would help you like yourself more? And you see, we'll continue to chase after the spotlight until we receive ourselves as who we are. That doesn't mean you have to like every part of yourself. Do you like every part of your spouse or your kids or your best friend? Right? We don't like 100,000,000%. There are things that rub us the wrong way. You're going to have parts of you that you're not going to like so much. That's not a big deal. Here's the thing. When we choose to strike a match and look inside, we find this treasure trove. It's unique to each and every one of us. And it's entrusted with us at the moment we were conceived, like the conception of our life. In my mind's eye, I see like Indiana Jones or one of those, fun movies where they find the treasure and they flip on the lights and it just glows and radiates everywhere. And you're like, whoa. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And think about that in regards to looking inward and saying, you turn the light on, you strike a match, and start seeing yourself for the wonderful gifts that you have been blessed with. When you shine the light on these treasures, a glow begins inside, an inward glow. And when you start handing these gifts out and sharing these gifts with others around you, now you have become the spotlight. There's no need to chase after any other spotlight or to run from the spotlight, for that matter, for those of you who kind of feel like a little bit of haters, they don't want social media or any limelight. We don't have to chase after it. We don't have to run from the spotlight because nothing can dim the light that shines from within. So this week and from now on, do yourself and the world a favor. Take yourself out to coffee, go for a solo walk. You get the idea, right? Go somewhere, whatever it takes to spend time getting to know yourself. Rekindle that relationship with you and find those treasures that God gave you and let those treasures radiate from within you. You see, there's no need to chase after the spotlight. There's no need anymore to say, I'm over here, see me, see me. You don't have to chase after numbers and stats and approvals and likes and thumbs up and whatever. You don't have to chase after any of that. When you are living your life from the inside out, when you are radiating your gifts from the inside out, now you get to beam out light, you get to be the spotlight, and you get to contribute in a powerful way to our world around us. I hope this served you well. And until next time, live big, love bigger. Feeling alone, disconnected? Conscious investors often feel alone or disconnected because of their unique perspective and desire to expand their thinking. But the journey of a lifetime isn't meant to be solo or forged by grit alone. Join the Conscious Investor community on Facebook, link arms, exchange ideas, and expand your thinking on finances, relationship, and community. Join the Conscious Investor group on Facebook today.